Good afternoon and welcome to the signing ceremony for the macro-financial assistance with Ukraine. I have the pleasure to welcome Executive Vice President V.Dombrovskis as well as Ukrainian Prime Minister Mr. Д.Шмигаля, who will sign the agreed Memorandum of Understanding. After that, they will make short press statements. So I will first give the floor to the Executive Vice President for the press statement and then to the Prime Minister. Executive President, the floor is yours.
Honourable Mr. Prime Minister, honourable media representatives, I would like to warmly welcome Prime Minister Д.Шмигаля to Brussels and to his visit to the European Commission. I think it's symbolic that it is his first official visit abroad and it's to the European Union. So we had a very fruitful meeting and covered a range of topics on EU's and Ukraine's agenda. Ukraine is high on Europe's agenda and we continue to provide political, financial and technical assistance, especially during this time of crisis. We support Ukraine's reform agenda to build a more resilient economy. EU has shown solidarity with Ukraine also in a phase of pandemic and last month agreed a support package of 190 million euros. I know this support is already reaching Ukrainian families, medics, small businesses and civil society organizations, helping them to face the crisis. And we know that Ukraine is one of the countries in the EU's neighbourhood which is hit very hard by the pandemic. As part of our objective to help our neighbourhood to cope with the fallout of the pandemic, we will provide Ukraine with emergency macro-financial assistance of 1.2 billion euros. It's far more than we provide to any other partner. So this also shows our continued support to Ukraine's reform agenda. So we are pleased to have concluded the negotiations on the Memorandum of Understanding for the new programme. We will continue our strong engagement to support the reform orientation and strategic path that Ukraine has chosen. The agreed structural policy measures focus on four key areas: public finance management, governance and rule of law, improving the business climate and state-owned enterprises and the gas market. They reinforce past achievements and send a strong commitment signal to international investors. With the Prime Minister, we discussed the reform agenda of Ukraine. We also want to ensure a clear commitment of Ukraine to central bank's independence, including independent bank supervision. This is an essential precondition for the financial stability, and it's also important for building up confidence and trust and for maintaining good cooperation between Ukraine and its international partners. And I would say signals I received during today's meeting were reassuring. We also discussed the upcoming EU-Ukraine summit on 1st of October in Brussels and the implementation of the association agreement. The agreement is delivering results in many areas. Trade in both directions reached a new record in 2019. So I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for his visit to Brussels. That is a good signal for continued close cooperation between EU and Ukraine. It is now important to ensure swift adoption or ratification of the Memorandum of Understanding in the Verkhovna Rada, so that we can start preparing the disbursement of first tranche of this emergency support program. I also want to wish all the best to the new Ukrainian government to deliver on Ukraine's reform agenda, to improve living standards for Ukrainian people, and to bring Ukraine closer to the EU. This is our common goal. Thank you very much, and the floor now is to the Prime Minister.
Thank you. Dear ladies and gentlemen, today is my first official visit to the heart of the United Europe, to the Brussels. It's very symbolic to me, and once again we affirm our priorities and permanence of our movement towards European integration. I'm very thankful to Mr. Valdis Dombrovskis for his personal contribution in supporting Ukraine and for our meaningful meeting today. At this meeting, we have discussed a wide range of issues concerning the relation between Ukraine and European Union. First of all, we focused on three issues: resisting the Russian aggression, implementation of systemic reforms in Ukraine, and EU help for Ukraine during the coronavirus pandemic. I have informed the Executive Vice President of the European Commission about the latest developments in Donbas and Crimea in detail, and Ukraine stays committed to perform the terms of Minsk agreement, and we will keep doing that. We want peace, not war. We have discussed steps that can be conducted in order to deter the Russian Federation from further destabilization in east of Ukraine and to recover the respect to international law. We have no right to forget that the Russian aggression in Donbas started after the occupation and shameful annexion of Crimea. Systematic violations of human rights, involuntary dispossessions and transformation of Crimea into a military base give rise to our common concern. Dear ladies and gentlemen, at the time of coronavirus pandemic, economic crisis and aggression of the Russian Federation, the Ukrainian authorities keep conducting complex reforms. I'm thankful for the high opinion of the European Union concerning our first result on this way. I mean the land reform, digitalization, decentralization, privatization and others. Today I informed Mr. Valdis Dombrovskis about our appointment of the new governor of the National Bank of Ukraine, who has got significant support in the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine. This is the continuation of banking reform in which the independence of National Bank is a must. Still, Ukraine needs support of our partners a lot. We would like to thank the European Union for the assistance equal to €190 million provided to Ukraine for fight the coronavirus pandemic and for the exceptional macro-financial aid to stabilize our economy. I appreciate today's signing of the Memorandum of Understanding and the credit agreement under which Ukraine is going to get €1.2 billion of macro-financial help support. This new program is quite ambitious but realistic, and its successful implementation will be the common victory for both parties. I am returning home with a feeling of confidence in the economic stability of our country and in continuation of reforms that will guarantee well-being for our Ukrainian citizens. Our key instrument for reforms implementation is the association agreement. However, we realize we live in changeable times, and that's why it's important for us to make the association agreement even more flexible by keeping it up to date. We want this idea of updating our relations to be the main one at the Ukraine-EU summit in October 1st of this year. We are talking about several priorities. We would like to conduct fundamental analysis of the association agreement and eliminate its possible shortcomings in order to facilitate our further alignment and integration of our markets. To intensify the dialogue concerning the signing of the agreement on conformity assessment and acceptance of industrial goods, to switch the new stage of our dialogue concerning applying the EU market regulation in the area of telecommunications in Ukraine, and engage Ukraine into implementation of the European Green Deal. I count on the support of our partners in the European Union. I'm sure this and other agreements we have achieved will be a powerful step towards to expand our relations. And once again, I would like to thank to Mr. Valdis Dombrovskis for meaningful conversation we have had together today. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. This brings an end to our press point today. Thank you, Executive Vice President. Thank you, Prime Minister. And thank you for following us.
Thank you.